Hey, dipshit. You're live.
I am?
Yeah, that's why I pointed at you. I even did the countdown like you asked me to.
Oh, well, I was listening for the lightning effect.
Guess what? We don't have sound in our earphones.
Okay, cool.
In our he said earphones.
That technically is the right term. So, I am Alex Carolina. Just kidding. I'm Mitch.
I'm
here.
Dave from Atlanta.
And that's Dave from Atlanta. And we also have Caleb, the producer, sitting on deck just in case. So, over the weekend, we had we're having technical difficulties
I'm picking when we start the stream to move my mic.
The country had 2 mass shootings. Okay, let me make sure.
I think there was a third one somewhere, but it wasn't like a big one.
Oh, I guess that makes
Not worth
I guess that
mentioning.
means it's less important.
Jesus.
We had 2 mass shootings, major ones worth mentioning. One in
Dayton, Ohio.
Toledo, and then one in
El Paso,
Texas. Thank you. And yeah, we're just going to talk about it and talk about just what we can, if there's any solution coming, if maybe complain about some politicians and get some input.
I would never.
We're going to get some input from a lot of people as much as we can, including BJ's phone right there. I would like to start off by reading something that I have saved. I'm so gotta breeze past my things of Brett Michaels. Help donate to El Paso and Dayton. Yes.
Unimportant.
President Trump blamed video games. Well, I think he partially blamed video games. He listed them in his complaints of what caused the thing. I would like to read a selected statement by Take-Two CEO Leslie Benzies. Blaming entertainment is irresponsible. Moreover, it is highly disrespectful to the victims and their families. The fact that entertainment is consumed by the world, but gun violence is uniquely American, end quote. How do you respond to that?
Fucking accurate.
Agreed.
Okay.
Japan, UK, Canada, Australia, they all have video games. They all have violent movies. They all have literally everything else we have except for one thing. You know what that one thing is? Fucking going into a store and buying a gun in 25 minutes. That's the only thing. It's the only difference. And yet, we have people running around fucking shooting each other all the time, like the wild goddamn West, and every other country in the world is just fucking chilling. I think Australia's had one in the past like 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And then the New Zealand had that one, which, by the way, the guy was a fucking Trump fanatic and was inspired by him. So.
And didn't the government of New Zealand pass a law less than 24 hours, maybe 48 hours after?
Yep, to make it even stricter.
Make it even stricter. Okay. Caleb, do you have anything to say about that?
No, I'm in agreement.
Okay.
I see
nice
nothing I
podcast.
Yeah, before anybody gets excited about a debate, this is not a debate, this is a discussion, because I think all three of us are in the same boat, regardless of my beliefs or BJ's or Caleb's. It's pretty much an agreement that it's a pretty commonly shared, not graphic, but a picture. It's a cycle of arrows, and it says mass shooting. I don't know what the next thing is, but it keeps going around.
Thoughts
back
and
up to
prayers.
Thoughts and prayers is one thing.
Facebook posts.
People of note, everybody begging the government to do something about it.
Nothing happens. Back to square
blow
one.
over, and then shooter.
Yeah.
And former guest of ours, Corey Detman, actually shared that. I think he shares it every time a shooting happens. So it's a popular picture, and it rings true every time. Nothing happens, and it's frustrating. Like, you call me a bootlicker all you want, and that's fine. That's fine. I joke around and accept that, but it's fucking gross, the fact that nothing has happened. And how many just in the past year? Do you know off the top of your head?
That number's kind of iffy because they count pretty much anything that's more than 4 people. If
Yeah.
that includes a like gang drive-by, that fucking counts. So it's not
I'm
really.
really glad you said that because a lot of people just fly off the handle, like mass shooting, but it's like, well, what's the definition of it?
Like a lot of people say there's
Here's
been like
the title of an article on CBS
Okay.
News. There have been more mass shootings than days this year.
yeah, which that I think that number does include.
It's probably a little inflated.
Yeah, it includes gang violence and whatever. And if it's more than 4 people.
255 mass shootings include 5 high-profile massacres in the past 8 days. And this was
Which
published.
is just, it's fucking insane.
This was published August 5th, so yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay. Well, why
do we
is this,
do?
why is this shit happening? Let's talk about why.
There's
it's
a lot of
happening.
reasons on why.
Well, what do you
This,
personally think?
well, El Paso was basically because of Donald Trump. That's been proven. The guy was a big Trump fan and wanted to
So
stop the invasion of
Wasn't that the
immigrants.
was that the kid who was posting pictures on Facebook of the word Trump spelled out in guns?
And guns. Yep. And then he wrote an 8-page manifesto and uploaded it to 8chan that basically said like he almost quoted Trump's speeches word for word. Was like, we need to stop the invasion of immigrants and they're sending the bad people over and blah blah blah. And he drove, I think, like 300 miles or something from where he actually lives to El Paso because it's like a border town basically.
Okay.
And went into Walmart and just tried to target
and
Hispanics.
where was this black guy from?
Black guy?
Yeah, this black guy that did the shooting.
Oh yeah, the violent minority.
Right.
Because it's always and
Right.
the immigrant. It was an immigrant. Oh no, wait, it was a fucking white guy. Oh my bad. But no, hey, don't worry. It's mental illness. Okay. It wasn't because he's violent. It wasn't because of Trump's fucking rhetoric that all minorities are pieces of shit. It was because he's mentally ill, Mitch. If it's a white guy, he has something wrong in the head. We just gotta have some sort of system where we can take care of people that have mental or health problems in general. We could care for them just universally. What would we call that? Caring for people's health
privilege.
universally.
I would call that something a majority of first world countries have around the world. Except
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. That's stealing my money to help other people. Fuck you. Okay? Like, that's the thing. Trump came out and said, he's like, it's a mental health issue. Then fucking do something about mental health. Which isn't the only problem. It's also a fucking gun issue. And there's so many problems. But the biggest one is access to guns. And yes, mental health. I mean, everybody is going to get mad but it's mental. All these people are fucking mentally stupid. Like, there's something wrong with them, whether they're white or black or Muslim or whatever. There's something wrong in your brain. If you go, I'm going to walk in and try to kill as many people as I can, I don't know. It's like there's something wrong in your brain. And something needs to be done about that. I'm not a fucking mental health expert. I don't know what you do about that. Personally, I think
it's called you have intense screenings for people who want to buy guns.
I was just going to say, in my opinion, I think if you're going to buy a gun, you should have to go through a mental health screening. It's not that complicated.
And
if you
shouldn't have to pay for it. The NRA should be paying for that.
Fuck yeah, dude.
If they want to
Fuck
put
the
weapons
NRA.
in people's hands, make them pay for
Well,
it.
they're basically funded by the gun lobby or the gun manufacturers.
So you're saying fuck the NRA and you don't even own a gun?
I own a gun. I
Oh,
literally
my
almost
God.
every podcast we have, I have a gun in my fucking waistband in a holster. But guess what? A, I'm not crazy. B,
Debatable.
depends who you are. But B, yeah. And by the way, that's everyone always says it's a lot of
libtard.
fucking libtard, snowflake. Somebody said that to me the other day, and I called him a gun humping inbred, and he was like, "Oh, that's mature."
Did you really say that, or was it
did.
some other word that you couldn't say?
I don't know. It was on the reporter.
Oh,
so you can look it up.
Nice.
But no, it's like I'm not anti-gun, but
I know.
I walked into Fleet Farm, and 25 minutes later, I walked out with a gun. That's
Now,
fucking insane.
When you did this, were you thinking this is insane?
The whole time, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to probably wait a couple days, whatever. And he's like, all right, you're good to go to sign here and here and here and blah blah blah. I'm like, fucking what? I mean, like, it was a handgun. You can still do a lot with a handgun.
Yes.
But it was like, there were assault rifles there, and it's the same process. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sorry, not assault rifles. There were sport rifles. There we go.
I was at, this is last year, February in 2018. I walked into a Cabela's. I think it's Cabela's or it's whatever is south of here.
Cabela's.
And Cabela's. And the line, it was right after a mass shooting, and the line was really long because prices skyrocket after mass shootings. A guy walked up to the counter and said, I would like an AR. And I don't know the time. We were not in the section very long. And I saw the guy in the time I was there walk out with a box with the gun in it. Like, it was pretty fast.
Yeah,
like,
it's
really,
nuts.
really fast.
It's really insane.
So, yeah, you're not exaggerating. Like, I've seen it, but I myself personally don't own a weapon, a firearm. I would like to someday. I mean, I've shot deer. I've shot targets, and I do not want to shoot people. So
But you play video games.
I play probably more video games than anybody in the state. So
Yeah.
I just-
so you're a murderer. Clearly.
well, here's the thing. I haven't played a video game with a gun in probably a year. I've been on The
Yep.
Witcher for like the last 6.
Ryan just said both him and Shane walked in. 30 minutes later, they had guns.
I was gonna bring that up, but I wasn't sure about it. Shane and I did the same thing on the Bachelor weekend. I just walked in, and we both left with a gun in 30 minutes. Now that's 2 guns in 30 minutes. Like that's you split that down the middle. It's 15
plus,
minutes
guess what?
apiece.
You don't need shit to buy ammo either. You can go buy as much ammo as you fucking want. Whatever they
All you gotta
got.
be is like 18 years old.
I don't know if this is real, but I swore I don't know if it is, but I'm sure you guys have seen it. About a month ago, some guy walked in with a gun, or it was like tucked in somewhere, and he said, "Hey, can I see that ammo?" He pulled a Terminator move, where he's like, "Can I just see the box of ammo?" And all of a sudden, he just started loading his gun right there, and just that was it. Like, it didn't
That was
even.
it.
He didn't even pay for it. Like, if you don't want to, if you can manage to get that one round in chambered, I think you're good. Like to
Yeah.
commence with the whatever. But anyway, I got to read this too because it's. This is on the front page of Reddit. I open Reddit once a day and I just check it out. A Fox and Friends host said, quote, "It is a fact that America is experiencing a Hispanic invasion, directly echoing the El Paso shooters manifesto," end quote. What do you guys think about that?
That guy.
That's on a news network.
That guy.
Fox and Friends.
That guy should
incredibly-
be fucking killed.
Well, okay.
Okay, well, let's
a little-
that's a little much. We don't want to go to the level of the guy we're
extremely
talking
irresponsible
about.
on the news network, though. It'll be broadcasting that rhetoric.
Yeah, but it's
Yes.
Fox News, so that's what they do for a
The
living.
network should be
It's
killed. It should be put out of
still.
business.
It's still. Thank you. I was gonna say, can we just like? I'm all for saying whatever, but like saying we should take human lives.
The only
I
people
don't
that
want to
Nazis.
hear that
The only
today.
the only
Kill
people
'em.
that should be killed are people who have committed horrible crimes.
Yes, that's fine. But like this person's on a news network, whether that's a horrible crime is to be interpreted. But
You know,
Being on Fox
well,
News is a horrible crime.
I'm just saying, you know,
Yeah.
like,
as yeah, go on.
for speaking on a television show, whatever.
You're right.
Sometimes.
Did you have
It's
something to
just
say?
irresponsible.
You're right. That is
Yeah,
100%
and-
irresponsible to hear.
But our fucking president does it. He says the exact same shit. So
Oh, yeah.
what are we gonna do about a fucking news guy who says it? Like,
Well, right, but yeah.
Well, they're all just following the lead of our supreme leader.
yeah, God, fucking Cheeto man, take him. That's what I said the other day
Thought I was
he
a
said
Cheeto man.
when he wanted to blame video games. I'm like, take him from my cold dead hands, Cheeto boy.
Oh God. I mean, my favorite video game of all time is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I'll never.
Great game.
That I put more time into that game because of not just because of the gap between. Okay, it was only 2 years between Vice City and San Andreas, but like when you're 12 years old, it might be 3, but when you're 12 years old and that's like all you have, and like that amount of time, that's an eternity, man. That's an eternity.
Yeah.
So when I'm sitting there, and half the time when I would play at my grandmother's, she wouldn't really like bat an eye on what was going on. But most of the time, I would just get in a fucking Greyhound bus and jump it over the
people over.
same. I wouldn't run people over, actually. I would, because I would get killed and lose all my stuff and lose my money. So I'm good. Thank you, though. I would take the Greyhound bus off of the same jump. And it was like this long, traipse of grass leading up to the Malibu Club, and the ramp would just go over it. And all my cousins who were like half my age there at the time, they would try to jump it with the bus. And occasionally you'd hear my guy yell like, "Get this shit out of the way" or something. But as far as that, like, I've grown up with the most violent video games. And I mean, I never played Manhunt, but every game I had as a kid had a gun in it. Halo. I mean, it's aliens, but like, basically, I think what he's saying is every video game that has a gun, that puts a gun in your hands, causes you to devalue life.
Thanks, Fortnite.
But thanks.
Let me
Fortnite.
finish. Right. No, you're right. But let me finish before you take the wheel. That's what I think he's trying to say. But one, that's an ignorant statement because there's millions, I dare to say, maybe billions of people on this planet that have touched a video game. And I guarantee you, dare I say billions again, that have never, ever felt the urge to go on a shooting spree. Maybe we felt it, but you don't act on it because you're mentally stable for the most part. And to say that the video games cause this is like a cause or a root cause, among with other root causes, it's just insulting to me, not even as a gamer, but as a human being that has logic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I agree. And the thing is, there's been study after study that's not only proven that video games don't lead to violence, but that more often than not, they actually increase levels of empathy in like kids who play violent video games because they are able, most people, apparently unlike Donald Trump, can separate video games from reality. Like you, the first actual violent game, like I played GoldenEye, but that didn't really have blood or anything in it. The first super violent game I played was Vice City. I went to my friend in elementary school's house. We went in his basement. We were playing it, and he showed me. He's like, "Dude, watch this." And he fucking took out a sniper rifle and shot someone in the head. Their head blew off, and fucking blood was squirting out of their head. And I was like, "That's pretty cool." And we played that for a while. I'm like, let's go fucking play with your ferret because you had a pet ferret. I didn't go, I want to go fucking murder people now because nobody is like that.
Did you ever feel the urge to go murder after?
No, I mean, everybody feels the urge every once in a while. Like, man, I want to fucking kill that guy. But guess what? You don't do it. You know what I think that, because everybody's like, well, this guy played fucking Call of Duty. This guy played blah, blah, which, hey, everybody fucking pretty much these days
I
plays
say,
video
like, you
games.
could say that about, like, literally, like, 100 million kids out there. Like,
but the thing is, the reason they all do play video
Or
games
adults.
is because maybe that was them trying to find a release. It wasn't the cause. It was them trying to find a different manner to get rid of their anger. But it didn't work. So they went and killed a bunch of people. But it wasn't the reason they went and did it. It was like, it's like they fucking, they were all cigarette smokers. Well, maybe they were trying to reduce stress by smoking cigarettes. That doesn't mean cigarettes made them go murder people. That doesn't make any sense. That's not how that works.
Do you remember the magicians, Penn and Teller? Or magicians or whoever, whatever they were magic acts. They had a show called, I don't know, remember what the show was, but one of their many shows called Bullshit, yep. And they took this kid who played Call of Duty. He was maybe 11 or 12. He played Call of Duty maybe 12 hours a day. Kid doesn't have a job. It's fine. It was in the summer, whatever. And he was like leaderboarding top 500 in the world for different things, like accuracy, kills, whatever. And they wanted to disassociate the violence with the video games, which are real world violence. And so they took this kid to a shooting range. They gave him one of the guns from the game, except it wasn't fully automatic. They're like, okay, so they locked it in because the kid's a gamer. He's weak. He can't pick the gun up. They lock it in place. They're like, all you got to do is aim down the sight, and when you're ready, you flip the safety off, and you pull that, you squeeze the trigger. And they show the kid do it, and they show it, and then they cut to black, and they're like, we promised him we wouldn't show what came after, but we're going to anyway.
I've seen it, yeah.
Sorry, Nathaniel, or whatever his name was. It was some kid, and he went like, and he looked over at his mom and just started crying and grabbing at her and like holding him. And the first thing I thought was, God, what a pussy. But the second thing was like, I mean, I've never I shot a gun when I was like 8 years old, but like, yeah, it's kind of scary. But at the same time, it's like the violence that he saw in the game or whatever did not carry over. Now, that's one case. That is one thing. We're not saying it's for everybody. Maybe someone's mentally unstable to the point where if they see this in the video game, they say, Well, shit, I mean, I could do this in real life. How fun would that be? You guaranteeing me someone didn't play the level no Russian and was like, ooh,
No Russian.
no, remember, no Russian. And it's like, ooh, you know, what's going on here? Like, it may have appealed to some of the less mentally stable, but that's such a blanket statement. That's like saying all men are liars or all women are cheaters or whatever. It's
Well,
just ignorant. It's just ignorant.
It is, and I also, we're surrounded by so much fucking violence and bullshit in real life that a fake animation of somebody like you turn like I saw that thing I shared the other day. I was like, why are millennials so so sad, depressed or something all the time? I was like, I don't know. We watched like 3,000 people die on live TV when we were fucking 12 years old, so that might have something to do with it. Like, and that's true. You turn on the news and you watch fucking war footage, or you turn on the history. You know, you turn on anything, and there's people dying. You go outside. You go to fucking Walmart. Apparently, people are getting killed. You can't go outside without somebody shooting somebody else. And it's like, oh, but this fucking little animated dude that's got a gun, and half of the games don't even have fucking blood in them because they want to sell to China.
Happy Tree Friends, man. All right, we got a comment
Great
here
game.
that I want to read.
Great show.
Jordan, our guest from last week, said, quote, video games as a teacher is one thing that I can speak on. With my kids emotional ones, I have first, second, and third graders that are sitting in front of violent video games. The games are acting like parents and are getting a false sense of reality. My kids, when mad, are yelling shit at me that they would only know by playing violent content. Not saying it's the video game's fault for kids, but kids playing these games at too young of age and then are being irresponsible.
It's the parents' fault. It has nothing to do with the games. It's all the parents. It's like if you sit them in front of a fucking late night Comedy Central when they can swear, the kid's
crazy.
gonna pick up swear words.
It's crazy. Games have like ratings, like movies.
Yeah, but shitty.
What are you
parents.
talking about, dude?
Oh, dude, don't
crazy.
don't insult parents in Fond du Lac. I fucking commented something and people got pissed.
Hey, what are you talking about, Caleb?
It's crazy. Games have like ratings, like movies do, to tell you what age appropriate is.
Well, yeah, you
for.
probably have to go on Google and look these up in like a deep internet server,
No,
don't you?
they don't-
It's,
They
it's
should put
actually
those in
right
there.
on the box, or even when you
What?
buy it digitally, it says right at top, right there.
No.
It will say what it's for, even.
Are you saying it's like in the left-hand corner of the front of the fucking box?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my god,
Right
dude!
there.
Too much, dude.
E for everyone, T for teen, and M for mature, which means you should.
Oh, there's one more.
There's one more. And nobody will sell it.
Well, they did.
Oh, AO, that's right.
I
Forget that exists, honestly.
You can't. Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft will not let an AO game play on their systems.
what's the one
that
game that
seems
received an AO rating? Made by the same guys who made Vice City.
It was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas before
Nope.
the. Yes, because
it?
of the hot coffee mod, they had to pull it off, and they
yeah.
didn't get an M rating back until they deleted it
Gotcha.
from the game.
I was gonna say Manhunt.
Manhunt did get an M
Manhunt, yeah. Never played it though.
rating. Neither have I.
Oh man, I really wish I
It
would.
doesn't really interest me. It looks bad.
It's apparently like you. It's a you get in
play
like
as a serial
It's a
killer.
game. Oh, I thought it was like a game show where you have to complete the
Manhunt?
most.
No,
gruesome-
you play as like a serial killer that's running from the FBI, if I remember
God,
correctly.
Mitch.
Because
Yeah, I think you like start off in prison or something.
I think we were talking about it on the first podcast I came on.
Oh really?
This is
I
the
think
top.
so.
Hey, this is weird because the first podcast I was on, what was that, a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Was right after a fucking mass
Yeah.
shooting, and we talked about this shit, and it's like,
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't fucking change.
well. That's what that was back when
There's-
we were
well-
just having guests on.
There's too much money in it for politicians to do anything. They're getting paid off too much money.
That's true. I was thinking about this in the shower before. The NRA. Here's the thing: if you're a member of the NRA, I'm going to say this, and I know this is something that you're not supposed to say, but you're fucking retarded. And here's why: the NRA doesn't give a shit about you. Your fucking membership, you don't get anything out of it. You're literally paying to be a member of a lobbyist group, which makes no sense. That's like I like solar panels. Solar panels are good. I'm not going to send the solar panel lobbyists $100 a month or whatever it is, so that I can put a fucking I like solar panel bumper sticker on, and I like solar panel fucking belt buckle and all that shit. It's like, why you're literally paying them to lobby for major corporations that are already giving them the billions of dollars they need. Like, your money means nothing, but they're just suckering you into giving them money. Like, you're just being a sucker. Like, you're getting fucked, and you just give them money.
You're just patting the CEOs and like the top.
Yeah,
players.
that's literally what it is. And they send you a fucking bumper sticker every month.
Or you're padding the politicians' wallets that they are using the money to
Exactly.
influence.
And it's like you're giving them probably, I guarantee, I would have to look it up, but I'd be willing to bet the NRA's membership dollars are like 10% of their revenue. The rest comes from the gun manufacturers.
Damn.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
And I'm probably accurate.
And even
Because,
if you could find that, would it be truthful?
yeah, because it'd be on their fucking website.
I want to read this too before we get too far off the topic of video games. Opinion was sent. A couple of people actually messaged me their opinions because they wanted to be heard or talked about on here, but they wanted me to leave last names out. This was sent to me by a man named David, and
What was his last name?
David. To be clear,
Dave from Atlanta.
David from Atlanta.
Dave from it. No, that's you.
No, just we're gonna do. Everybody that wants to be anonymous is from Atlanta now.
Fine, David from Atlanta. To be clear, I don't blame violent video games. However, if someone mentally unstable, such as these shooters, the last thing you'd want for them is to play violent video games, especially the Grand Theft Autos. You and I and many others are perfectly fine with such games. Proof that mental instability and violent programming, even a movie like Taxi Driver, is what led to the mentally unstable guy shooting Reagan, because he confused the movie with real life. I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true either.
The guy shot Reagan to impress Jodie Foster, who we
Yes,
saw in Taxi Driver.
We talked about this a couple of
Yeah, so it wasn't
weeks
the
ago.
movie. It was the fact that he developed a fucking crush on a celebrity.
I think he identified with the character in Taxi Driver.
Did he?
Talking to me?
But it wasn't
Just
the-
speaking.
It wasn't the.
No,
the-
that's from the movie.
it
I'm
wasn't the
sorry.
violence of
Oh,
the
yeah.
movie that made him do it. It's just he was.
Maybe not.
I-
You can't tell. You literally can't say.
Yeah.
The guy's alive
He's
still,
in
isn't
jail. Or he's out of jail now, I think.
he? Pretty sure it's still going.
Plus, he was. That's a whole sketchy thing. Now, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but apparently he was actually friends. His family is friends with the Bushes, so that's kind of weird. He kind of used to hang out with George W. and stuff.
W.
Dibs.
G-dubs.
G-dibs.
Well, damn it, you had a really good point I was going to branch off of before, but now I kind of lost it.
The
So-
NRA.
What?
The NRA thing.
No, it was right before that. It was mental instability. No, it'll probably jog later, but
But anyway, gun
yeah, go
control.
on. Gun control.
And to be clear,
Get with it.
yeah, let's
no-
let Caleb speak.
To be
here.
clear, none of us are against the Second or the what was it?
Second Amendment?
Second Amendment. Yeah, none of us.
That one.
I was thinking like, is it that one? I'm pretty sure. But yeah,
It is.
to be clear, none of us are against the Second Amendment. We're just for tighter regulations
Yeah.
on the purchasing of weapons. Like, we're not saying that people shouldn't be able to have them or own them or whatever. You just need to be able. You should be able to pass some background checks, and like you should at least have to pass the same amount of shit that you have to do to pass a car. Like, you drive a lethal weapon around every single day going to work back and forth. Why do you not have to have a license to own a gun?
You
Exactly.
need a license, don't you?
No. I have a 22.
No.
I walked into the Fleet Farm and bought it like 5 years ago.
Yeah, well, the counterpoint is not to that, but the counterpoint to how people say, well, you don't need to drive a fucking car. You can't put a car under your fucking arm and walk into a maternity ward with it.
Right.
Yeah, or an orphanage.
Or
Like-
yeah.
I said that to that guy who I called a gun humping inbred. I was like, he's like, well, guns or kill people and blah blah blah, it kills people, and I'm like, yeah, but the thing is, I actually have to go and take a test and receive a license to get a gun, and if I fuck up with my with my car, if I fuck up with my car, they take it away from me.
Yeah,
so
you lose your license, and you can't.
guess what? The only reason they would take this away from me, and again, not against Second Amendment, I have a fucking gun on me right now. The only way they would take that away from me is if I fucking killed somebody or committed a major felony.
So what would you say to solve this? Would you say maybe to put in some kind of a law that if you commit a crime, that your gun will get taken away, but there needs to be more than just a murder or a felony? So, like, what kind of crimes would fall into that category?
I don't think that's necessarily it. Here's the
Okay.
laws that need to be passed. You need to increase universal background checks. You need to make any single thing a person ever does go into it. You have to have mandatory, I would say probably 5-day waiting period, business days, to make sure. Because even my brother, who's a conservative, he's like, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous because if you're all hot-headed and you go in and buy a gun and 20 minutes later you come out, you can commit a crime right there. If you have to wait, you might cool down.
It'll blow over, yeah.
You might cool down. And so definitely wait times, definitely better background checks. Red flag, bring back fucking red flag laws. There's no reason, if you're on the no-fly list, you should not be able to buy a gun. That's bottom line. But they had to fucking repeal that rule because the NRA wanted them to.
Like, no, if blood pressure checkers right next to the.
Yeah, God.
Remember those where you stuck your arm in as a kid?
The Rite Aid ones. And then I think there should be a law that if your gun is used in a crime, you're held equally responsible for that crime.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed nobody would be getting their fucking guns stolen anymore. They'd be locking the shit up out of them.
Chris, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, and I also think I'm not for fully banning assault rifles, which is very rare for liberals. But I think that you can keep assault rifles, but you have to go through special classes and you have to have yearly mental health checks in order to own one. It's not that fucking hard. That's what Japan does. You have to have a mental health evaluation before you can own a gun.
Anything you just said was unreasonable.
It's not, but guess who it's unreasonable to? The people with the fucking money.
Right. Chris Rock used to have a bit, even back in like the 90s. He said, every bullet should cost $5,000.
I know, I love
That's
that
what it would be, because you'd shoot a guy one time, and then he'd go into the guy and get the bullet back. I'm like, I don't think that's how that works, but it's still funny.
It's true. But the thing is, I hate the argument, well, if you make them illegal, they're still going to get them somewhere. Well, every gun comes from a legal purchase. So it was either stolen because somebody that bought it was too fucking irresponsible to own it, which means they shouldn't have owned it in the first place. Or B, somehow they managed to fucking flip a truck over that had a gun shipment in it or something, which probably doesn't happen. So go back to A, where some fucking idiot bought a gun and he's too stupid to own it. And he got it stolen. And then it got sold on the black market. So it all goes back to these law-abiding citizens. But B, just because a law doesn't work, might not work all the time, doesn't mean you shouldn't have that law. Not everybody stops for stop signs. Not everybody people still murder each other. All that shit, like, those are illegal things. You're not supposed to do those. People do them anyway.
People litter.
People speed. You know what prevents some people from doing those problems or breaking those laws is the thought of punishment. Yeah, so maybe, even if we can prevent, I don't know, half of the fucking shootings that we go through, it's probably worth it.
I want to thank Mackenzie Sonnenfeld now, because she's taking time from for her honeymoon. Congratulations. To watch this. So,
well, I mean, that's the ultimate.
From Hawaii,
that's the ultimate.
United States.
No, they're probably.
She probably clicked on it to get it away.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say Hawaii, Florida.
Hawaii, Florida.
What it was? Does Hawaii? I almost said Fond du Lac.
See, I thought you were going to say Hawaii, Florida.
Hawaii, Fond du Lac. No, I wouldn't have said Florida. I know Hawaii's south of Florida, so.
I mean, watching us is very romantic. It probably is putting them in the mood a little bit.
Dude, it's probably
probably just a downtime because honestly they're probably just sitting in bed going because it's like
earlier. It's like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, they're probably just getting ready for their day.
What if they conceive a child to this podcast?
Holy shit. We can name him.
That's what happened. They rolled over onto the phone.
If that's the thing, make sure the middle name's Adrenaline.
Yeah, I was gonna say Weekend. Joshua Weekend Sonnenfeld.
There you go.
Wow.
Boom.
Wow.
We just named your child.
You're welcome.
Josh mass shooting Sonnenfeld.
Woo.
No. Okay.
Woof.
Sorry.
That's a big oof for me.
Actually enforce laws that exist already and raise the punishment. Are there what laws are in place already for mass shootings or stuff like this?
Well,
weapon laws in general.
Yeah, there's a lot of like the.
Honestly,
so gun show loopholes are a big one. Like you don't have to go through a background check or anything if you go to a gun show. I technically have owned guns in the past, like hunting rifles, that I never purchased and never had to go through anything for because I won them in a raffle, or like a dinner thing. And they just gave me a gun. And
they just hand it to you off the stage.
Yeah, like, here you go.
The firing pins in it and everything. It's fully operational.
Ready to go. If I had ammo with me, I could have just killed everybody there.
Loaded in. On Sunny in Philadelphia, there's that episode about how Dee and Dennis are super, super leftist and say, well, we're going to go prove that we can just go commit mass gun massacres right now. So they go to the thing and they say, how much is that gun? Or we want a gun. It's like, okay, you get it right now, right here, right now. In under 10 minutes. He says, we got to box it up. We'll hand it to you. You just got to pay us. Awesome. Well, this 30-round assault rifle was $1,000 at this store where it took blah blah blah, how many days, and then he's like, how much for this gun? $15,000. So it's like, yeah, there's a paywall there, but I mean,
I don't think they're. I think they exaggerated that though.
well, it is for the thing, because that was part of the story, because they freaked out and they called him a fucking hillbilly or something, and then all of a sudden, like you hear 9 guns just cock and get in their face. So like, it's not that extreme, but like, yeah, I've been to plenty of gun shows myself. They're awesome. There's actually a Browning LNG, and it had this giant sign, legal to own, and it had like a wink face next to it.
God.
Not fire.
It's like in Bowling for. Remember Bowling for Columbine?
I haven't seen
The
that.
documentary. Oh, it's great.
I know what it is. I haven't seen it.
He goes into a bank in Little Rock, and they're like, "Sign up for a checking account. We'll give you a free gun." And he's like, "So all I have to do is sign up for a checking account, put $5 in, you guys will give me a gun." And they're like, "Yep." And he's like, "This is fucking insane. Like, you can just give the shit." My uncle / godfather just gave me a gun for my birthday once, a fucking hunting rifle. I mean, it's a hunting rifle, but still, it's like no transfer, checking
Transfer of ownership or whatever,
transfer
yeah.
of ownership or checking anything in between people. It's just like I can go give somebody a gun and they can give me money, and that's the end of it.
Well, to mentally
No
stable
such thing as an
and
assault rifle. Go fuck yourself.
mentally stable people, that's not a big deal. Like, you're mentally we'll say you're mentally stable.
I'm mentally stable.
Sure, okay. We'll say that you're mentally stable, and your uncle, who's also mentally stable, hands you a gun. Now, that's not a big deal in your circle and your family.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is a passing down of like an heirloom, maybe even. Like, maybe it's a very old gun or something. It's like, here, oh, what a great honor. But you're right. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like Alex said, it's kind of bonkers that
Yeah,
they can just kind of hand.
Hey, your number was
handing of
picked. Here you
guns.
go. And I don't think that's accurate. That you have to get a back. What does he say? A FFL background check, unless they've changed that recently. Cause I haven't been to a Wings Over Wisconsin
I'll
in
be
a few years.
honest. I was just because that's what I do. I look at shit online to buy. I went down the rabbit hole of like just looking at like different like old military weapons and stuff. You do need to have like this bunch of stuff done to purchase like actual military weapons.
Military weapons, yes.
Right.
But-
that would be like your assault rifles and stuff like that.
Not like an AR-15.
Well, actually, I'm pretty sure most of the ARs the 15s that I saw require the FFLs as well. Like
Oh yeah, you have to go through the background check.
which you have to get a bunch of stuff.
If you buy it from an FFL registered blah 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 blah, like if you buy it from a Cabela's or from a
Any
who
regular
sells those?
vendor.
Any vendor.
Yeah.
But if you buy first a private party, you
Oh, that
don't,
way, of course. Yeah. I mean,
which is insane.
but I'm not sure if that works though, because I think to even own it, you might have to be registered with a certain thing now. Otherwise, if they find out you own it, you can like.
I think that's
some
only for,
issues.
if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that's only for certain. Like if you want to buy a silencer, you're on a list. You have to go through a thing. You have
Yeah,
to
of
get
course.
a social
Weren't
license.
suppressors illegal?
I'm sorry,
for, like,
suppressor.
no,
I don't
weren't they for the longest time?
I think so. I think they were part of the assault weapons ban. And then when that was lifted, that went away.
But yeah, and
Sorry, I'm just reading the comments.
Rob just said the AR-15 available to the regular public is an assault weapon. And that's correct. It's a semi-automatic weapon with a like 15 to 20 round
Whatever.
magazine.
Are automatics illegal to own still?
Guess
to
what?
civilian?
Automatics aren't even real. The military doesn't even keep them in automatic
Yeah,
mode.
there's-
So any
there's no reason to really
semi-automatic
have
weapon with over like 10 round magazine is good enough to be an assault rifle in any military.
Yeah. Which I hate. Well, yeah, like it's not really an assault rifle. Well, guess fucking what?
Well,
It
just,
is though.
Just
You
let
can-
them have their.
You can put a
cup,
grip
so.
on. It's got rails on it. You can put a grip on it. You can put a laser sight on it. You can put a fucking 100-round drum magazine on it.
Guess what? That's an AR.
Holy
it's
shit!
It's an assault rifle.
You guys are getting me excited for the new Call of Duty. Okay,
I really
so-
am. Oh, dude,
I'm
have you
very
seen that
excited
shit?
for the new Call
Yeah.
of
Have you
Duty.
seen the gun?
Great.
Have you seen Night Mode, where the entire map is black and you have to do the?
Dude, that's sick.
That's pretty cool.
You have to use the things. Here's the thing though: if you're walking around with the gun at the hip, you're good. You raise it up, the laser automatically goes on, the sight
so people
laser,
can see you.
and you can be seen.
Interesting.
Yep. How fucking cool is that? Let's speak of. I was gonna say, speaking of mass shooting.
Anyway, AR-15s.
Go ahead.
Again, I don't think they should be banned. I think you should just have to go through a bunch of hoops to get
Yeah.
them. And
no
guess
one,
what?
No one's
If-
saying to ban them.
No, some people are, and that's
Well,
fine.
those
If you,
people are dumb.
if you think that assault rifles should be banned, I'm sorry, fucking sports rifles should be banned. That's whatever. I think they shouldn't. I think you should have to go a bunch of shit to get to them.
At least
And
more.
if-
At least more than there is now.
If you are not willing to jump through some hoops to get a fucking gun, you don't deserve a gun.
Yeah.
You don't have the patience to own a fucking killing machine.
You should have to, like I said, I think you should have to go through at least the amount of stuff you have to go through to get a car.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. Like to get your concealed carry
And you
license.
should have to maintain the license, year
yeah,
round.
you should,
Yeah.
yep. And you should have to go through screen. I think you should have to go through mental health screenings. It's not that big
At
of a
least
deal.
one.
Yeah, at
minimum.
least. You go in and they ask you some basic fucking crime. I mean, a real questionnaire from a psychiatrist can fucking basically tell if you're crazy unless you're really good at lying. Like probably within a half hour. Every pistol's an assault pistol.
Yeah, I was about to ask what.
I mean, that's true. Technically, every fucking gun is an assault gun because they're used
the guy
for assault.
said I could put a 50-round mag on my pistol. Going to call that an assault pistol
I am going to call it a fucking assault pistol.
because you could kill 50 people with that.
Why do you
without
need
having to reload?
keep it civil here. There's
Why-
still
I'm
people.
not calling
watching.
people names. I'm just-
No, I'm talking to BJ here.
Oh, okay.
Why do you need a 50-round magazine? Please answer me that. What do you need that for?
Target shooting.
I think it's just
You don't.
the fact that
Learn to reload.
No, the fact that he just wants it. I think just to.
Here's what I
Why
said.
do you?
I
Why do
responded
you?
to a guy.
Why do you
I want
want?
a nuke. I want a
no,
nuke.
Yeah.
I want a
well,
nuke.
Okay, now you're going crazy.
No, I'm not. Why can't I own a nuke? If I had the money, why can't I buy one? Because it's fucking insane to say that you can just own whatever you want when it comes to things that kill people.
See, we're already getting yelled at in the comments. BJ,
I don't
thanks a
care.
lot. I care. You fucking.
We're not being yelled
You're
at.
crazy.
Being encouraged to be nice.
Alex is right. The semantics, like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about because you called it an assault rifle, therefore your opinion's not valid.
No,
I'm going to call it whatever I want.
I'm not.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying
that.
that's what I'm
like,
saying.
I don't want this to get into a shouting match with a fucking screen. Cause
I do.
This. No. Well, then do it on your own time.
This isn't a shouting match.
All right. Thank you.
It's called passion, Mitch.
This is
I am very passionate
This is
about
point,
many
counterpoint,
things.
and rebuttal.
Have you ever played The Witcher? No, because you're not passionate.
No, are you
so-
passionate about the Christ? Because I am.
The Christ.
The Christ.
We call him the Jesus. So
the Jeebus.
did you know on page 480 it says Jeebus?
Jesus.
480 of what?
It's on Family Guy. They're like, huh, weird.
Jeebus.
No.
One Dwicht.
So,
That's the officer.
I know.
anyways,
Red Level
God,
Midnight.
please don't tell me we ran out of steam for this topic already.
I can go for
I
hours.
could go for
I
a
was
while.
gonna say, keep it going, please. 'cause
Listen,
we're
all
only
I'm-
47 minutes deep, and we
all
have
I'm
12
saying-
viewers, so let's keep it going.
All I'm saying, Rob,
Only
and
doing this to
whoever
There
else.
goes mention the view account. I'm just kidding.
Rob and Nate. Those are the two people that are against me right now. Yeah, but guess what? I mean, I can use a F-15 with fully automatic fucking machine guns for sporting too, but I can't because it's unreasonable to allow allow people to use or have anything they want. And again, I'm not saying ban everything. I don't say that. I would like to. I looked and I kind of been thinking about buying an AR-15. But yeah, a nuke. My buddy Kim Jong Un is gonna hook me up. No, I want to own an AR-15 or at least some sort of assault rifle. I'm going to keep calling it that. I don't care. But if I had to go and do a mental health check and get a license and do all that and pay for a license, I would do it because it's called being a fucking adult and being responsible with things that can kill people. Just like a car. Criminals own cars that aren't registered too. That doesn't mean that I'm going to go and do the same thing as them because I am responsible.
So
And if you're not responsible enough to go and register and go through the training and get checked out, then you shouldn't own a weapon at all.
is this
because
the
you're not an
incel
adult.
that shot up El Paso?
They're all a
Hold
bunch
on.
of fucking incels.
This is the Dayton shooter.
Okay,
What are the Dayton shooters were.
Oh, do you hear whose fault the Dayton shooting is? The Acacia Strain. We played with them.
Why
played
is that?
some-
Why
because he was wearing an Acacia
Oh,
Strain
Jesus.
sweatshirt.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's another thing. You know what else he was wearing? A bulletproof vest.
armor.
Yeah, bulletproof. Why should you be able to buy a bulletproof vest?
Oh yeah.
Because of what
I
the
think
mass shootings.
They advertise
What
them
if I
to
wanna-
be
Because
What
of-
if I
because-
wanna
no,
walk
no,
around with a
because of
bulletproof vest?
because you can protect yourself if you want, but because of private security and stuff like that, you
Yeah,
need
but
to be able
then-
to have access to that.
Yeah, then you should be able to.
It's a piece of Kevlar. Like you can buy. You should be able to buy that if you want. You should
don't
be able to
think
protect yourself.
Yeah, that's what.
That's the whole point of the Second Amendment with guns. Like you should be able to protect yourself.
Well, the whole point of the Second Amendment was because they didn't have a standing army at the time and needed to allow people to have a militia.
Except it
Here's
talks about how you should be able to overthrow your government in the Constitution.
Here's a point of
But they have
that
drones
Rob
now.
is making. Here's a point.
So do
that
we, you know.
Little fucking camera drones. We're gonna
Rob
get you now.
Rob is saying, I don't disagree with about 80% of what you guys are saying. However, but if the criminal has cannot get a 100-round drum, why am I being handicapped?
Because then you're just in a war of
No,
escalation.
He said if the criminal has a 100-round drum, why am I being handicapped?
Then
Oh,
you're just
okay.
a war of escalation. You're basically saying, well, he has this, no, I want this. And then the criminal's going to get something to outpower
It's called
you.
power creep.
Here's what you need. If you're really afraid of criminals, here's what you need. Because if you're going to be confronted by a criminal, it's probably going to be in your house when they're robbing you. Get a shotgun.
It's like
you
you
win.
blow them in half.
You blow them in half.
And
it's
then-
fucking
and then
over.
Get a concealed carry.
My
like
dad,
BJ.
my dad was telling me
And
how
shoot the shooter before they.
I want
Yeah.
to get. And my dad's like, you need to get a shotgun. I'm like, why? He goes, well, just make sure you get something that doesn't involve pass through. And I go, what?
Yeah.
And
Shoot
I'm
the
like,
wall.
what the hell is that? He goes,
yeah, so you don't get sued
if you
for shooting
go,
somebody else.
yeah, if you shoot it in an apartment, it's gonna go into the next
Well,
room.
you live in an
and
apartment.
Hit some people.
Yeah, shotguns.
You
Okay,
get-
don't
you
get a
need
shotgun.
buckshot.
Please.
Just get buckshot.
Yeah, don't
Load-
get a slow.
fill their ass up.
Oh my
Just
god.
yeah, get like a low velocity.
Seasoned.
Oh, gee, thanks, but I don't know what he said. But
I think he's.
yeah, if you need 100
don't
rounds, you
know.
have bad aim. Like you don't need 100.
They say that like when you're when you during a home invasion, if you fire like a handgun, that you're gonna be so close to them while you're doing this that there's a danger that the muzzle flash will actually burn their clothing.
Well, plus it'll blind you.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah, shotgun is probably the best way to go. You can just cut them in half.
So you fucking. I'm assuming you've seen. Obviously, they have
Bill Burr sketch?
the hooks that dangle on the side of your bed, so you can just pick up the gun from the side of your bed. You don't even have to sit up. Like if you're watching The Office in your bed, you can just. But now I don't know if this is real, but we. I really hope we're still going.
Oh yeah.
And I thought like you have to like hit some kind of a panel next to you. Like again, you don't have to reach out, but the top of the headboard like. It springs a shotgun out of the back of the headboard. And
Oh,
you have
yeah,
to, you have
yeah,
to
I've
catch
seen
it.
They're
but,
cool.
like, I don't know if that's real
That's
or
some
not.
Lara
though.
Croft
It's like
shit.
the dark. You're in the dark, and it's like where the just fucking
Oh,
clunks
can you
you in
imagine
the
if it like
face.
hits you in like the jaws or the teeth or something? Almost said it hits you in the Jesus.
One time we were shooting.
Jesus.
We went shooting up in a quarry when I was a kid, and with my brother, I forget what gun he was shooting. He was probably like 16 or something, and he shot it, but he had the scope too close to his fucking eye. and
Yeah, yeah. Oh, my cousin's had ringers before. They've all had ringers. I'd never had though.
I shot the coolest gun I shot was a World War II Russian rifle that was used in World War II.
The most in the guy.
Really?
I don't remember what it's called. It was
An
my
SVT.
it was my brother-in-law's brother.
Must be
was
most in the
gone.
gut.
But it had such like a rare ammo that he only had like 15 rounds.
Was it-
so it's like everybody gets one shot.
Was it bolt action?
Yes.
Yeah, it's most in the gut. Sniper rifle.
I made
general
a-
infantry rifle.
I made an iron sights shot from I think 200 yards. Bullseye.
Really?
I would never be able to do it again. I'm not that good. I'm not that good. I just got super lucky.
I do believe you actually because I feel like you don't seem like a guy that would brag about something.
no,
that's
no,
true.
because I'll say it's not skill. It was pure luck.
Nate, if you're still watching, can you tell me what the gun that you let me shoot at your place was? His was really old too, and it had like a game license or something in the stock from like 1940 something.
That's cool.
But the gun was way older than that too. So
Was it like a bolt action?
no, it was break and it only held one
Oh,
round.
break action.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it a shotgun?
I don't know.
Usually break
I don't think it
actions
is
are
a shotgun though.
Yeah,
wow.
usually they are.
But yeah,
don't know if
Nate,
I've
if
ever
you're still
seen
watching, please can you just comment what the type of gun it was? I've heard that if you're using it in your home against a person's caliber higher than 22, it will just deafen you the first time you fire.
It's probably not guaranteed, but it's more
Probably
than likely,
likely,
that
yeah.
you're
20.
gonna- well,
Okay, it is a 20. It is a 20 gauge break.
Shoddy.
action. Okay.
I wouldn't
yeah,
say
you're right.
I wouldn't say 22 bigger than 22. Like a 9mm probably wouldn't deafen you.
I mean, there's
If
a
it's-
reason people wear head like ear
But in, like,
protection.
one
It's not-
shot.
It's still.
I mean, it'll probably keep, your ears will be buzzing for like an hour.
I think it depends on the room you're in.
it's like,
my-
it's like in the office when they shoot the gun right next to Andy's
Oh
head.
yeah, he's
My-
like, ah.
My father once, when he was younger, he used to run the 357 Magnum, and he went to a shooting range, no ear protection. He's like, I'm not fucking pussy. Blew a bunch of rounds. I think he said he shot over 1,000 rounds that day between him and
That
his friend.
sounds unlikely.
Between him and his friend, 1,000 rounds. They were there all day. So
Man,
he's there.
that's a lot of
He's
reloads.
yep, yeah. And so he's there doing his thing, and he goes home a couple hours later. It's like, man, I want a glass of milk. So he goes to pour his milk, and he completely misses the glass. He's, oh, fuck. And then all of a sudden, he starts throwing up everywhere. And then he calls his friend. He's like, what's wrong? He's like, yeah, I'm fucking sick. And they realize that it was their eardrums swelled up against the sides of their brain, and it, like, completely discombobulated them. Yeah, I'm like, yep, wear ear protection.
Yeah, always wear ear protection. The fucking shooter wore ear protection in El Paso. Did you see that? He wore he wore earphones and safety glasses.
Hey, man. Sometimes you plan on surviving.
Yeah. So Nikki says, BJ's getting very passionate. However, I love everything he's saying.
Thank you, Nikki. I love you too.
No, you love.
We should run away.
You love the things she's saying too.
We should run away together and leave Mitch behind. Anyway.
Now he has to He has to make sure she won't run away with you.
Please don't leave me for BJ.
I had a dream that somebody ran away from me last night, but it was like one of those dreams where you looked at people's faces and you couldn't see them.
Oh, Jesus.
Like they were grayed out.
That's gross.
I haven't had a weird
You got
dream in a
abducted by
long
aliens.
time. Maybe.
God damn it. God damn it, we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
He is? He is, what? Oh, Jordan is saying you're passionate.
I'm passionate.
Our former guest.
Former guest. Never again.
Jesus.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'd be fine having her on.
Oh, I thought you were saying I'd be fine never having her on again.
I would be fine having her as a guest again, is what I'm saying. I was thinking about having Nikki on.
Understand.
That'd be awkward.
You should have Nikki on. That'd be interesting.
What would I do?
That'd be so awkward.
Babe, what do you think about this? Yeah,
Hey,
I like chicken strips
No,
too.
you would be a guest with her. Let
do
me
you
or
think,
BJ
babe?
be the host.
You're like Michael and
I would love to sit in the other chair.
Michael and Jan. Hey, babe, what do you think about this? Why don't we wait until after dinner to put that up, babe? Well, we can talk about it.
Babe. Snip, snap, snip, snap. You know what that means?
God.
Vasectomies does to a person?
Good luck paying me back on your $0 a year salary.
Oh my god.
Babe.
Hey, if you want the TV closer, it comes right out of the wall.
I was watching a interview, and they were saying that was the hardest scene to film because they kept fucking losing it.
Oh, I bet. All right.
We're going
Anyway,
off topic.
guns.
Gun violence.
Yeah, someone keep going. I don't know
Someone
shit about
please.
this stuff.
You really don't.
So what? That's how I'm
just
trying
kidding.
to learn.
I'm just kidding. No, I mean, as far as the guns go, that's kind of all I got. I mean, unless somebody wants to argue with me
Hashtag
again.
let Smitch sit in the other chair.
God, this is my side of the fucking table.
Yeah, but if you want to host someday, you could host from there if you
It's not that I want to. It's I'm gonna be forced to when the people overthrow you as host.
Oh, my God.
I'm gonna be like the fucking,
read my fucking lips. You will never
They say dick here.
host this show
Bullshit.
unless I allow it.
Someone's upset.
Yeah, and it's God because he assigned this to me. Hang on, let me
Okay,
read this comment.
Stalin. Skeet.
Ski shooting, yeah. I haven't gone shooting in a long time. I would like to go shooting soon. Maybe we could make a day of it. But I honestly
the point
don't
is,
trust
guns are
BJ.
loud.
Guns are very loud. Dude, I'll go shooting with you. Like, that's the thing. Again, I enjoy shooting. I like guns. I think guns are cool. And
I know,
going to the
that's-
range is fun. And, when I go up north and I get it, I haven't shot. The funny thing is I've never shot this gun that I own.
Yeah, I know.
I
Isn't
haven't
that
had the
crazy?
time.
Like, that's why I was excited for this. Is semi-excited because I was kind of nervous, to be honest. That you have this belief about you have a leftist belief with the process of guns, but you still own one and you treat it very well. And like you said, you haven't used it. Mm-hmm. So you're a good amalgamation of both sides. Used responsibly.
And I should use it because I should break it in, but
on
Targets.
on watermelons, not people. I mean, you can. That's the problem with things today. Is people are it's so black and white when it's really not. Like nobody ever wants to kind of take middle ground when they should. I mean, there's some things you shouldn't take middle ground on. Punch a Nazi. Just punch the Nazi. There's no fucking reason to debate that. But like guns, you can be not against guns and still want to regulate guns. Like the joke says in, I don't know if you guys have watched the new season of Twilight Zone. first episode of the new season. The guy was making, because he was a stand-up comedian. His joke was, they always talk about not regulating it, but it says right in the amendment, a well-regulated militia. Ha ha ha. But it's true. Like, it says right in there, it's supposed to be well-regulated, as in, like, there should be regulations. Like, you shouldn't be able to own certain things unless you go through certain checks. And you shouldn't be able to, some things you shouldn't be able to own. There shouldn't be 100-round fucking drum magazines. Like, I'm sorry. I know it's fun to go out to the range and just for fucking 10 minutes until it runs out. But you having fun at the range versus people dying, which they haven't used. I think they've used a 100-round magazine in a shooting recently. But
Well, sorry, go on.
even then, like, the possibility is there, and it's like, you're not more important than people's lives is basically the bottom line.
So if human lives come into the equation, then sorry, but you don't get to have
Then
that.
your fun doesn't matter.
So, like...
Your rights do, so you can still own guns, but I want to go to the range and shoot with my friends.
Some of the accessories are.
How come mayo can clog your arteries and kill you, so why am I allowed to dump a gallon of it every turkey
because
sandwich
that's
I have
your
at
life.
work?
If you want to die, that's on
Okay.
you.
You can take a gun and point it at yourself if you want. Like, no one's stopping people from doing that.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
Same-
I'll pass the
same
shooter the
difference.
100-round drum. I've been too busy arguing to even fucking read half of the shit about the shootings because it's been
a lot of it is just it hasn't gone into like there's like a little bit of jabber back and forth, but it's gone mostly into like personal stuff now. Like Nate said that background checks are harder than you think. I have a disorderly conduct for my record 13 years ago, and it puts me on a 2-day waiting list, which I don't think is that long.
And
But I mean, if you want the gun that day,
I mean, that's kind of on you, man.
leftists don't have guns. Even
At least he still can buy guns.
Marx
Jesus.
was against disarming the workers. I'll pass a shooter.
And he was like the most left.
Marx?
Yeah, Karl Marx, basically the inventor.
Now, was he real lead? Okay. He was, yeah, he started communism, or he like came up with the concept of it, or?
I think obviously Marxism was him.
You're going to get a picture from
Okay.
Alex here.
Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah,
On
okay,
the
one
dot.
of those.
Yeah.
Like the 100-round dual
Now,
drums.
let me say, we shouldn't go into communism because, not me, but because it's off topic. What happened to both suspects of the shooting? Are they in custody
arrested.
or
One,
dead?
one got killed, I think.
Dayton got his head blown off because the
Okay.
police were literally outside.
Oh.
But the thing is, that's the argument against the good guy with the gun fucking thing. Like, if there was a good guy there with a gun, guess what? The cops were there, and he still killed 9 people and injured 20, I think.
A lot.
A lot of people still died with trained police officers there, basically on site. They killed. I think they shot him within, 30 seconds or something.
Oh, wow.
Which is
But he still managed to take 9 lives.
Because of the drum mag.
because no, that was El Paso had the drum mag.
No, the Dayton.
Did he have one
That's
too?
the one I was looking up. It was
Oh.
the Dayton one.
Well, there you go.
Do you know
The
the
drum
statistics
2
of?
for 2.
Do you know? So the one that got killed, the guy that was destroyed.
Yeah, Dayton, Ohio.
How many injuries were there? Also, like how many total
I think
casualties?
20. Caleb can
Jesus.
fact check that. It was at a bar. One of the people he killed was his sister. I think I remember.
Holy
saying.
shit! He killed his sister.
Well, yeah. People. Hey, guess what? They're not the fucking best people in the world.
People are not
but-
good people. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if the police had been there, yeah, it would have been worse. But guess what? Enough people still died that the whole good guy with the gun thing didn't fucking matter. Like,
By the time you have time to react, the damage is done.
and like, I don't know. I've seen people. Well, it was only. Well, guess what? It was still. Yeah, it was only 9 people. But go fucking say that to their parents. Like, if you really believe that, and watch how fast you get punched in the face. Like, oh, it was only your kid. Look, it could have been more. It was only your kid.
I think I would rather get punched in the face than to see like the family grieving that hasn't slept in days try
Yeah.
to look me in the eye and listen to that.
Like, it's people just need to fucking think about things a little bit. Like,
Chicago
People-
is a prime example of field gun laws.
it's not.
Okay, what do you have to say about that then?
The reason Chicago has 50%. This is It's either 49 or 51, something like that. So basically, the about half of Chicago's guns come from Indiana, Ohio, Iowa, Wisconsin, and states with less gun laws.
Now, guess what? If all the states have those laws,
So if all the states had them,
Alex
really
literally
issue.
just
He said that before, yeah.
he hit it right as you sent it in too.
Yeah.
And this whole thing has delay, so you guys were on the same
Boom.
page there.
roommate power. Yeah, if you want to get a gun in Chicago, you just drive to Indiana and buy a fucking gun. If you want to get a gun in Chicago, you probably have to pay 10 times the price for one on the streets or something or whatever. I mean, okay, somebody's gonna be like, "Well, I bought one on the streets when I was 16." And blah, blah.
Do you think? I'm sorry if you have more points.
No, go ahead.
Do you think teachers should have guns in schools now?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
what if a student gets a hold of that?
Yeah, A, what if a student gets a hold of it? B, I would not have trusted most of my teachers in school with a gun. I made them mad enough that they probably would have shot me. C,
Except Coppermill.
yeah, Carbonell would have loved it. He would have been like, "You guys want to check this gun out?"
Oh my God, are you guys naming actual?
Yeah, he was
people?
my teacher.
Oh,
He was
okay.
cool.
So few, okay.
Oh, first names.
Yeah, I don't know his first name. Harry? I don't know.
Barry.
But fucking, what was the third thing I was
From
gonna say?
Atlanta.
Oh, plus it's just the kids know it's there, so you're basically they're gonna be intimidated all day, and people respond how they're treated. Like it goes back to the whole. I don't want to get into this part that much, but Black Lives Matter thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Black Lives Matter was protesting. The fucking National Guard showed up with riot shields and tear gas and blah, blah, and then Black Lives Matter started fighting them. Because you showed up as the aggressor as a SWAT team. Because you escalated the situation and people respond how they're treated. So if you go into a fucking schoolroom and you know there's a gun and the teacher's going to be all fucking high and mighty and there's security outside and there's fucking metal detectors and blah, kids are going to feel like it's a prison because they feel under pressure now. So you're just making the situation worse and making people more scared to be at school.
I think the counterpoint to that, not saying this is my view, but I think a counterpoint to that would be, well, I'll just lock it in the drawer.
Yeah,
But
they know it's there.
then you can't get at
I
it.
say, what's the point?
Yeah,
of that?
then
And
you have
then
to
all of a
unlock
sudden, by the time you hear the pop, and by the time you comprehend the noise, and by the time you finally decide in your head, this is a situation, you got to do this.
it. Yep. Oh shit! And yeah, they're not trained.
That's realistic. I didn't plan to drop that. Now my keys are wet.
Look what happened in
you
Florida.
do this, and then you got to unlock the key, unlock the thing, like
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
shaking.
God.
Oh, dude, I'd probably be throwing up everywhere by the
Look
time
at the
I got
thing,
the
that one
fucking
cop,
drawer
the
open.
one cop in Florida that was there when that school shooting went down. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm out of here." You don't
And
think
he
the
ran?
He like hid behind a fucking wall until it was over, basically.
Jesus God, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
he got a lot of shit after that. That was the one that we
Yeah.
talked about. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah, A, they're not trained for it. If you train them, they're not fucking soldiers. It's not their job. Not to mention, everybody always says, well, if I was there with a gun, I would have shot the suspect. Yeah, okay, you would have shot him. Then the police would have rolled in and blew your fucking head
Yep.
off because you had a gun
Yep.
at a crime scene. Like, you think they're gonna stop and be like, wait, hold on, are you the good guy? What happens if me and another good guy with a gun are both there and we both pull out our guns? How do I know he's not the bad guy? Do I shoot him? Do I shoot everybody that has a gun? Do they shoot me? Like, how many people need to have guns?
Nate said we had a school officer with a gun and nobody felt pressured by it. We could also check our shotguns at the main office for hunting season.
That is a police officer, and I don't know anybody who didn't feel more under stress when they saw the cop at school. That's like when you're driving. You can be like, I'm doing nothing wrong, and you see a cop, and you're like, fuck.
And
Because it's just
did he go to what school is this? If it's a small school, it's a lot different.
Yeah.
He'll tell us he's listening, and then he'll tell us. Yeah, what you were saying just now, though,
Like,
of the cop driving the
yeah,
review.
I'm not a criminal, and I'm usually not speeding. I usually have nothing. I'm not doing anything wrong, and I see a cop, and I'm like, fuck, man. Well, he might pull my ass. Oh, well, I gotta check my speed. God, blah 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 blah. Because you know that dude has power over you, not only because of his job, but because he has fucking weapons. Like, and I have a gun. A lot of times when I'm driving, it's like, what if I'm that fucking dude that I go to reach for my wallet and he blasts my ass off because he read on my he pulls up my name and says I have a gun because he can do that because
Yeah.
he'll say I have a concealed carry.
I'll be honest, like when my car broke down last week and I was on the side of the highway, it was 10:45 on a Sunday night, and the cop came up to me and shined his light on me. I'm a white male. I'm about as going to be treated about as well as they come.
And it's still scary.
And I was scared. No, I was. And I had done nothing wrong. And my license plate. Here's the thing, though. You know what my license plate looks like?
Yeah.
Oh, garbage.
You know, he didn't say a thing about it here. And he strapped a sticker on my car saying, like, this is the time that broke down. You have a 12-hour grace period to get it off the road or it's towed. Which means he looked at it again. He's seen it for sure, and he didn't say a word. Guarantee you, if I was some other color and I had that kind of a shoddy license plate.
K9 would have been there.
Oh, my. Dude, I would have been on the fucking pavement.
Yeah. Body slammed. But fucking, yeah, that's another thing. It's cops, man. I was going to say something. What was I going to say? It's, man, well.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what he was going. As far as Nate,
Said his school had just over 1,000 people.
okay.
So like just under half the size of Fondy. So yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, hey, he agrees on something. Fucking cops are kind of scary, man. Like, even if you're doing nothing wrong, it's like...
Well, when you know your police force gets no reparations for just shooting people for basically no reason. Just because they felt slightly unsettled by something.
God. He had a stick.
Even though they wear body armor and, you know...
But that's the thing.
Basically have free reign to kill anybody they want.
And it's like...
Without anything but a slap on the wrist.
I've never had a single problem with Fond du Lac police.
Mm-hmm.
I had one time I had a fix-it ticket. They told me I got to get my muffler fixed. The day it was due.
Fond du Lac police have never been an issue for me.
Right.
It's because we're white, though.
Yeah, it's because we're white. That's the thing. It's like I can't. It's hard to be subjective, but and so I went and I had the fucking police station was closed. And I'm like, shit, I have to get this signed by a cop by the end of the day. It was like 5 o'clock, and I saw one shooting radar down on Brook Street. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop over there. I stop and I pull up. I didn't pull up next to him. I pulled up in the same parking lot as him. And I got on my car really slowly, and I literally walked up to his car with my hands up. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't want him to think I'm fucking. I don't want to get.
Where was this?
On Brook Street.
Oh, why were you walking?
Because I had a fix-it ticket I needed signed by an officer by the end of the day.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm like, I had like the thing. I'm like, hello. Yeah.
Well,
I'm like, please don't shoot me.
In my one of my friends, we got pulled over in Milwaukee after an Offspring show.
Oh God.
And like in Milwaukee, and he's like, I got this. He was driving, and we're not intoxicated of any kind. We didn't drink at the show, and as soon as he got pulled over, he didn't even he put both hands out of the car like this, like open, and the cop just goes, you don't need to do that. This is 2012. He goes, you don't need to do that. He goes, just making sure. And there's also one time where I was parked outside of a bar on Main Street, and someone threw a rock at my car. And I tried to find the person. I said, fuck. I was hot-headed and I was pissed. And so, like, I found a cop at 2.0, and I started walking at his car, and he looked over at me, and I immediately, I'm like, okay, I should probably, do something. I opened my hands. I walked like this at him. And it like put him at ease, and he like kind of face slacked a little bit, and he's like, okay, like, because you don't know who's walking at you at 2 in the fucking morning by a bar.
Could be drunk.
Yeah.
Looking for a fight.
Well, we got to confront about. Were you outside that one time we were playing a show up in Green Bay? We were chilling outside.
Wasn't there?
Okay, and the 2 Greenville police officers came up and like shined their lights right in their face, like, "What are you guys doing out here?" Like, we're playing a show inside. Is that the Inferno?
Maybe.
I think, or not the Inferno.
Madison,
the
maybe I did go to that one.
The weird place that had like art and stuff. And we're just like,
maybe I was at that
we're
one.
playing a show. We're just kind of hanging outside, and they're like, "Well, what are you guys up to? Anything? Like, what are you guys doing?" But like, they thought we were basically doing drugs. And we're
Yeah.
No, dude, we're just kind of hanging out.
Going to what Alex said, I think this is a no-brainer, but the thing where he says, should the police be the only ones armed?
Yeah, definitely not.
Fuck
yeah.
no.
Yeah, well, he said that's why I said that is a bad answer. That's what he said. It's a bad answer. Yeah, the police shouldn't be the only ones armed because the cops are fucking nuts too. But like, it's not hard for anybody to go crazy. But the thing is, if they are a clear risk of going crazy and killing people, it's not that hard to at least weed some of them out of the fucking discussion and be like, no, you're not getting this. Like, it can't be that hard. Otherwise, I literally, if we don't do that, I don't know what we do. Because it's not fucking banning video games. It's not immigration problem like Trump said it is also. I don't know if you saw that quote.
Yeah, I saw
He's like, oh, we also have to stricten our immigration. These were fucking white Americans, you dumbass. Mm-hmm. Like, it has nothing to do with immigration. But other than fucking fixing gun laws and making shit harder to get, And yeah, it gets it harder to get for the law-abiding citizens too, but fucking tough shit. Wait 2 weeks. Wait however long it takes. Take the fucking class. Pay an extra $100 to get certified. Boo fucking who? If you got the money for an AR-15, you got the money for $100 fucking training class or something.
Yeah, and just you could weed people out there too. Like if you see someone who's just like talking all kinds of crazy shit or like saying dumb shit on the break, where it's like, I can't wait for you, you know, can't wait to point them because I've got to defend myself against some fucking, you know, border jump or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, you need to come with me. We need to, based on you saying
talk.
this, we need to have like an extra quiz or an extra something.
Yeah.
The fact that that's another thing that's like, exactly, this has been going on for years now, and nothing's
We've
been
done
done. Nothing, zero. And it's like, how can you show up, like, let's say, I'm going to take your job. No, fuck it. I'll take all of 3 of our jobs. We don't work in the same line of work, but like it's similar things. You're given a task. I want you to create. I want you to get this task done by Thursday. It is now Thursday, 4 weeks later, and you're just showing up like, hey, boss, and like, why don't you have that done? You haven't taken vacation. You've been here every day. Why haven't you done this? We are now behind this many things, and this quota's gone, and we can't continue. You're bottlenecking everybody, and you're holding us back from progressing. You're holding the entire business organization back from going further and becoming better. Why aren't you doing that? How are you even showing your face right now to us?
I got paid by a bunch of lobbyists, that's why.
well, I found some money under my car, and, you know, I mean, I'm still coming to work. I'm still collecting a paycheck, but, like, if I get fired or if I get let go, man, I'm set. Fuck you, boss.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly how I feel that the government or Congress or whoever we can get
Our elected officials
are showing up every day with showing their faces, smiling, and then there's all these victims, and who knows what's going to happen in the future as this keeps going, because every time these things happen, I guarantee you one of the thoughts that future killers are having is like, well, damn. I mean, if I get arrested in a trial and possibly declared insane, and maybe like I get let go under the condition that I go take classes or some shit, maybe not even prison or execution. Sign me up, hand me a fucking gun. What?
So a lot of states don't even have execution.
That or
Texas
you sit on a
does.
40-year fucking waiting list.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you mean I get to get 3 hots and a cot or whatever they're fucking doing? I mean, like, yeah, you go to prison. Shit, they're probably, I don't want to go that far saying they're, like, playing games in prison, but.
No, they are. I mean,
yeah.
prison's not that bad. And,
Well.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a little.
no, I mean, it's not.
Prison's
It's not
pretty
good. It depends where you go. Like if you're going to fucking that one place in Arizona where they make you work outside and shit, that sucks.
Chain gang.
But you see I know a guy. I worked with a guy who's been to prison for like he was in there for I think 10 years. He's like, yeah, man, I had TV, I had fucking, it's not that bad. And it's like depending on what you did, and like how much permissions you get. I mean, if you're a fucking mass shooter, it's probably gonna suck for you. But if you're just kind of in prison, I mean, I wouldn't want to go because I still wouldn't want to be in the same fucking room most of my life. Well, we got a lot of
stuff coming in.
Here.
Book.
Every mass shooting should be execution. I feel like that's exactly. Well, I mean,
This is
What do you guys think about that?
It's more expensive to kill somebody than to leave them in prison for life.
Yeah, it is very expensive. There's a lot of lawyers involved.
Let them rot.
I'm not anti-death penalty, but I know that we get so much shit wrong that you got to be fucking damn sure when you're going to give someone the death, in general, the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to be damn fucking, you got to have it on video.
Yeah.
You got to have something, not just fucking, the jury's not good enough on that one.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they could, I guess in a perfect world, my thought would be if you could get them to sit down and say, what caused you to do this? And if they're going to fucking lie or not answer, they'll be just like, fuck you for years and years.
They get false confessions out of it.
Well, no, I'm not, right, but I'm not saying confession. I'm saying like, if they could be somehow useful in identifying what the cause was and progress towards a possible solution for future conflicts, then maybe not give them the death penalty. But I think if somebody kills somebody, the eye for the eye thing, or sword for the sword, whatever, like death for a death, I don't necessarily
blood.
disagree with that. Yeah, blood for blood. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that. We've got a lot of stuff coming in here.
I know. It's hard to keep up.
Especially
bullets cost 25 cents, but lawyers cost a lot more. And there's
And
a lot.
when you get sent to the death penalty, there is a lot of appeals
There's
involved.
a lot of
the
appeals.
courts, which cost the taxpayer a lot more money than
you have
fucking
rights.
25 cents.
Even shitbags have rights. Like they got to be able to make sure. You got to make sure because that's the thing. That's why they have so many appeals is because we get shit wrong a lot. Like there are a lot of people who've gotten killed over the years for shit they didn't do. Look at the fucking Central Park 5 or whatever that Donald Trump put a full page ad in the newspaper back in the 90s or whatever saying that he thinks they should get the death penalty, and they just got fucking released from prison like 2 years ago because they didn't do it. But they were they were basically coerced into giving confessions. And people wanted them to have the death penalty for something they didn't do, and that shit happens.
Hopefully they're suing a lot of people.
I think they're getting only like $3 million a piece or something.
At least it's something. They can live well for that the rest of their life.
Alex says we should not use the death penalty at all. Full stop.
Yeah, it's more
What
expensive.
do you?
I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
so
I don't.
no death penalty.
Let them work the slave labor in the prisons, which is apparently legal per our
In
constitution.
fucking Arizona.
Tell them to make me a new license plate. That'd be fun.
they're
That'd be nice
prisoners?
because
people
they make license
You know how much
plates
they
in
make
prison.
per hour when you're
Like
working in
a
prison?
quarter.
No, you make 6 cents.
Holy
after taxes.
shit!
After today, they're paying taxes.
Well, where's the money go?
What money?
Like if they're getting paid 6 cents, how do they get
They got-
paid?
They have an account in prison
Yeah.
where they can use it to purchase phone calls to their family for
Or
$3 a minute.
Yeah, they get snacks and stuff.
Oh.
There's you can get snacks and
Could you-
books.
could
I
you-
think have to buy
After working
books.
for 5 years.
Could
maybe.
you imagine, like,
Pretty much.
you save up for like a
Well-
cosmic brownie and then you get raped and it gets stolen? Well, I'm just saying, like, that's
No,
what
but
fucking happens.
the thing is also people can deposit money into your account,
oh,
like from outside.
Yeah.
So you could just imagine, like, you're like
Remember,
a Scarface
now,
of prison.
If prisons were owned by the government, this wouldn't be a thing. But these are privatized prisons.
private, yeah.
So they're trying to make more money.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Nate. That if you have if you have hard if you
The
catch
reason
them,
there's appeals is because you could always argue that he was mentally insane,
Yeah.
and not mentally sound. So you can drag it out for another couple of years.
or
Look at Ted Bundy. He was fighting it up until days before he was executed. Or not, yeah,
wasn't he murdered?
he was put to death in Florida.
Who was the one that got murdered? They just fucking beat his head in.
Don't know.
I forget who that was. It was a serial killer, but yeah, this cellmate just beat the shit out of him. and killed him.
Wait, the guy who got his head crushed in? Dahmer.
Yeah, I think was it.
But
Dahmer?
I think
Yeah.
that was set. There's a lot of people that say that was a setup. That they
also Whitey Bulger. That happened too.
yes, recently too, within like a year.
2013, I think that was.
No, the Whitey Bulger got killed like this year
Was it? Oh,
or last year,
2016,
even, 2018.
I think it was. Was it?
Could you look that up?
Yeah, can we get a Whitey
Who?
Bulger?
Whitey Bulger.
the
He was the
heck
one
is
that
that?
Black Mass was made
He
after. but-
ratted on a ton of mafia guys, and then they just
Boston.
sent him to prison anyway.
Yeah.
Wow, what a
He basically,
show.
his brother was a congressman, I think. So he was friends with people in the FBI. So he basically set up and ratted out every other rival gang in exchange for immunity, but under the table.
Well, that's what Henry Hill did with Goodfellas. You're a rat. So, yeah, he got his eyes gouged out or ripped out or something.
I'm just trying to figure out when this
Yeah.
actually happened.
I remember,
We have
yeah,
several-
after Lifetime of.
We have several questions in the chat. I won't answer them. They're mostly directed at me, I think. It was from Rob Shear. I don't know if it's a relative of yours. Chicago, the response was that about
2018,
50
Bulger got killed.
Okay, you're right, not me. About 50%-ish of their guns come from states where regulations are lower, like Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, etc. When is too much regulation? When people stop getting murdered for no reason, then we can maybe dial back. When does the law-abiding citizen have to suffer? Why does the law-abiding citizen have to suffer? Because of criminals when the laws already in place are not enforced anyway. There's not that many laws that I know of that aren't enforced as far as guns go. Besides, there's really not. And you're not really having to suffer, or at least from what I've been saying. Like I said, you don't really have to ban anything. Just fucking make it harder to get. If you don't have the patience, like I've said a million times, if you don't have the patience to go through the process, then you don't deserve a gun because you're not a responsible adult.
You have to do a bunch of shit to get a car. You should have to do a bunch of shit to get a gun. You can do way more damage with a car.
How many How many people has guns killed
Jesus.
Like ever?
in the United States?
Ever?
No, do your best. It's a dumb question. Just I'm leading it towards something.
Millions?
Just say a number. Caleb's going for the actual
30
thing.
million.
30 trillion.
Yes.
How many people has weeds killed?
What?
Weed.
Yeah.
I'd say I would make a guess of under 100 because I guarantee somebody has died
Oh
of it.
sure. They killed that monkey in that video that one time, but he was breathing pure marijuana for like a day. I'm just saying, like, they made so many they've passed laws to legalize marijuana. You don't think they could pass laws to, like, not even ban or do anything radical, restrict guns, or just restrict, just put more blocks.
So this is just the last about 20-ish years.
Neil deGrasse Tyson let me down, man. I've been a big.
What?
There's far more.
He thought you were gonna try to do the Neil deGrasse Tyson
no.
thing. Which,
There are far more gun deaths via suicide than assault. Looks like about
it's also-
5,000 more per year.
that's also kind of part of the problem is that if somebody's suicidal, they could just go buy a gun.
Correct. Let's see.
And then take people
And
with
then just
them
fucking
too.
yeah, that too.
But it looks like about that'd be about 22 on average. No, probably 20,000 on average, and that's probably.
Does that go back to the 1990s?
11,000 on average.
Oh, 99.
So probably about 33,000 a year for the last 20 years. You can probably extrapolate that back. Probably, I don't know,
it's a lot.
reducing it as time goes back, but
It's more than necessary. Yeah, man, I was really bummed out by Neil deGrasse Tyson
Why?
because he made that fucking dumb tweet.
What do you say?
He said, like, in the last 36 hours or something, 34 people, or however many people died from gun violence, but every day in America, 500 people die from the flu and 250 people die from this and blah, blah. It's like, that's not the point. Like, most of the things he listed were accidental death. Like, so yeah, people die from the flu or people die from disease, whatever. But it's like, that's not the point. There's so much preparing.
Yeah, it's not the point where he says, like, it's just, that's dumb.
Dude, Harambe would own 2 fucking revolvers like the Wild West, Rob. He'd be fucking dual wielding those suckers. And then he came up,
here's the tweet.
yeah, he made a half-ass apology, like, that was even worse. Like, it's like, oh, dude, please, I like you. Stop getting yourself into shit. Yeah, I don't know if you want to read it off. Or do you have it on screen?
Yeah. In the past 48 hours, the USA horrifically lost 34 people to mass shootings. On average, across any 48 hours, we also lose 500 to medical errors, 300 to the flu, 250 to suicide, 200 to car accidents, and 40 to homicide via handgun. And then he says, often our emotions respond more to spectacle than to data.
It's like that last line. It's like, dude.
Heartless.
Yeah, come on, man.
Go tell them to go, like you said earlier, go tell that to the fucking victims.
Yeah, it's like,
Fuck.
You gotta, there's time and a place for everything, Neil.
I'm not gonna not watch his stuff, but Jesus, dude, come on.
It was a super tone deaf, like, it's just, it's like, you gotta do better than that, man.
And
Come
shit
on.
like that's why I've never liked him.
I do, like,
'Cause he's
I
a
get,
pompous douchebag that thinks he's better than everybody.
that's what that came across as. I definitely agree. Like, I get what he was going for, like, hey, you know, there's a lot of problems and blah, 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 but it's like, that's not the fucking time, buddy.
It's not the time or the point. He
Yeah,
missed
it's not
he
the
missed the
argument.
point and the whole thing. Yeah. Well, gentlemen,
Ladies.
what have we learned today?
We learned that.
Nothing, because we're discussing things.
Wait, I think you learned some things.
Something just broke.
I just dropped that fucking thing I've been playing with.
We got a comment saying that we had really, really good points, and that was coming from somebody who I really thought was going to go, like, super radical with it. But even in the comments, everything stayed relatively civil. Like, there wasn't even arguing. It was just discussing.
Arguing and discussion.
Arguing and discussing.
Arguing.
Oh man, you are the orange man.
He also tweeted about the shape of a snowflake as a promo for Frozen 2, so maybe we shouldn't be looking.
It wasn't
him.
Frozen 2. It was some movie called The Lodge. And look, Neil deGrasse, I don't care what anybody says. Neil deGrasse Tyson is a very smart guy. He's very good for science. Like, he's done a lot for science. Like, he's getting people interested in it. He educates a lot of people. But he's just not I don't want to say he's autistic. I just want to say he doesn't have the social, like, understanding that, like, I shouldn't say this thing. That's what it seems like sometimes. Like, or like, this is gonna come across as stupid, you know? Like, I just don't think I don't think he's got it.
Like, he does a good job of presenting, but as far as teaching, like, stuff out, like Alex said, outside of his field, maybe we shouldn't be looking at him for that kind of.
Oh yeah, outside of his field, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shit, that's kind of a nasty tweet. Like, yeah, I didn't even know he said that. Now I'm kind of a little miffed about that. The
reason the population of a country doesn't matter when you're making comparison if you're talking about per capita comparisons. If you're talking about like gun violence comparisons, as long as you're comparing it like per 1,000 or per 100,000 citizens, then it's the same argument. It doesn't really matter what size the country is.
Okay. Well, we're not even an hour 30, but I don't see a reason why, like, we've covered almost everything I've wanted to, even more. And this went a lot better than I thought it would. I was really nervous to do this, actually.
This also isn't the show to play, like, fucking games on.
No,
it's
no.
Like bug my jug and shit.
Oh, no. I'm not going to, we're not going to do it to fill time. Like, I have no problem ending it early. What I would like to say is,
how would I zoom in on a gun and we can try and guess what kind it is and how many people it's killed?
Oh God!
Okay, can I just say how long at work? Well, I shouldn't say this, but how long at work I spent trying to think of a fucking name for the game. It wasn't like Shock the Glock or something. Well, remember I said you were gonna come in. And I'm like, hey, we're on the job tonight because we're glocking in, and I was gonna have you like drop a gun on this fucking. Like,
mine's not a Glock.
Yeah, I know, but like it would just work for the joke.
I'm not rich.
For Jesus. Well. Oh God, I don't know if I want to look at some of this shit.
That's the FN Scar.
This is what I want to own.
Scar H.
This is the weapon I want to own.
Okay, there's one with a fucking drum grenade launcher. That's the one?
No, I just want to own.
Oh,
I want to own a
you
grenade
just want a
launcher.
Scar?
I just want a Scar. If I was going to get a military weapon, that's the one I would
I take back what I said about the shotgun thing in your house for self-defense.
Adam says figure the trigger.
Figure the trigger.
I like
That's actually not bad.
Figure that trigger. I like it.
What's that?
This is great radio, guys.
Sorry. I'd be okay with ending it because of we do the game. I think the game's a silly idea and it would be fun outside of this podcast.
Right, I just suggested it to be it's ironic,
right?
You know, it's sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I thought you really wanted to play. I'm like,
it's because the NRA is making a game out of people's deaths. That's what he's fucking parodying.
Yeah.
God, man.
Well, I would like to just say that I was really nervous to doing this. I thought it wouldn't go that well. Not for any of us three, but just I thought it was gonna.
Professional, surprisingly.
Yeah. I'm a sensitive guy.
I thought that it was gonna go off the rails, not with us, but just like people in the comments. And I thought it was gonna derail like really badly. No. We went off a little bit, but it's okay.
We're not a typical Facebook comment section. We have people that have some measure of intelligence.
Some
in our chat.
Not much. I don't have that much. I'm just kind of I'm here. No, I was gonna say like. I think as far as all three of us, we sometimes present ourselves as a bunch of fucking buffoons, but we don't, and we joke around about shit that's like, you know,
a little sensitive,
a little edgy, but it's like at the end of the day, fucking dead people is kind of like there's the time to be serious, and it's now.
Yeah, I thought that this was a good opportunity to just discuss it rather than it wasn't a debate, it was a discussion, and there were differing opinions on here, and they were not shot down. They were discussed, and there were multiple times where all of us were said, oh, okay, you're right about that, or, well, I didn't see it that way. And I really, really like that, and I like this. We covered exactly everything that I wanted to. We brought up points. We all learned something. We got a lot of good comments and good feedback, and I'm proud of us.
Thanks, Dad.
Anything else you guys want to add?
Well, I'm running for Congress.
Bitch, you haven't ran in years.
I know. I got asthma. I'm walking for Congress. See, there's a joke for you.
Oh boy.
I should fucking run for Congress.
So how do we do this?
Press F in the chats if you'd vote for me.
Push what in the chat?
F for respects in the chat.
Yeah, you got anything, Caleb?
I'm also going to be running for
Yeah, it's gonna
House
be.
Representatives for Wisconsin.
You want to fucking roll, man? You want to run for the same seat as me?
No, you're gonna go Senate, and I'll go House.
Then it's so hard to win. You only get 2 in the state.
Ask Lorgan for advice. I mean, yeah, he got last, but he still did it.
He did do it.
Yeah.
That's a little different though.
But we'll basically be running mates.
I have no.
You like both of us are done?
I don't have any guests scheduled for 60 for Thursday, so if whoever wants to come on. I originally was going to do another discussion, but I felt I replaced it with this. I was going to do drug/addiction.
We could do that one. It could be discussion week. It's time to get serious.
Fine, we can do discussion
We
week.
could.
If anybody that is listening would like to come on for that one, you need to be 30 in order to be in the Senate. Guess who turns 29 in a month?
If
it's
you
not
ever,
30.
Well, we can start preparing.
if you were
now.
ever elected, I'd kill myself.
Well, here's this. How about you elect me because I'm old enough, and then you guys could run it from a puppet regime
say we'll
from
be the
behind
puppet
scenes.
masters.
Yeah, and I will dance on the strings.
Do you
my
really need
goodness.
to be 30?
Yeah.
That's what Alex
Just
is
like you
saying.
have to be 35 to be president.
Then House must.
Dude,
have one,
Alex
right?
participated a lot today.
don't think
want
the
to
House-
thank him for his.
Alex, does the
participation.
House have? I'll fucking just run for the House. That's easy to get into. Fucking. If Ted Cruz can get in there.
Oh my God, the Zodiac Killer.
she-
I would like to thank you two for being such great people. I don't thank everybody else, especially
band?
Alex, Nate, and I want to say Rob, and everybody else who contributed, and Jordan.
I would like to thank you two as well.
thank you.
Thank you to Bono and the rest of you two.
You don't know the rest of them?
The Edge.
The Edge, yeah, I was gonna say the Edge, and
Edge,
then
bro.
somebody else.
Him
There's
and his
a couple
fucking
more.
Kangol hat.
House of 25. I could be a House of Representatives.
Let's go do the House.
You
Oh my
move
God.
you move up to like Appleton or something, and you can be the one for up there, and I'll be the one for down here.
That's what's up. Boom.
You don't want me involved?
Again, if you were ever elected to public office, I would kill myself.
We could probably get Mitch elected because he has a better public image, so we could be the puppet masters.
Bullshit. You think me arguing on Facebook with people isn't a good public image?
But you don't look as good as me.
Bullshit.
He's clean cut. BJ. He's
I'm
a
like
little bit
10
more.
times better.
Dude, your mustache is like something out of like Chester A. Arthur's personal library. You look like a president that didn't win 100 years ago.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh man, my great grandfather is Aaron Burr. So fuck you.
Joey Salads.
What?
Saladus.
Oh yeah, Joey
Oh,
Salads
Salads.
is running for Congress.
Who's Joey Salads?
I don't know, but
YouTube
I don't know,
prankster.
but I
Oh.
want to fucking. That's a great
He's
name.
the conservative YouTube prankster.
How do we run for stuff? We need to do this.
You have to get Sermo's signatures, I think, and you just fucking
Jesus.
put your name in the hat.
Well, guess what? We have a podcast. We can get those signatures like
Oh
that.
my god. At least for Fond du Lac, yeah. I think it'd be a good idea. You guys, dude, I wouldn't put. I put 0% of my personal beliefs into my policies. You guys could run me like a puppet. You could put your You could put your hands up my. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess we just lost the
I'm
fucking
sorry.
election.
Yeah, we just.
I'll just pay some firm
So-
to clean up.
Can you imagine one of us making it? Okay, this is just.
Oh Jesus.
We're gonna talk about this for a little bit because this is a fun fantasy for me. Can you imagine
fisting
us?
Mitch's ass?
No, running. One of us running or running and getting into one of these places for the state, being part of Congress or the House, and then eventually running for president. Can you imagine the amount of dirt the media would pull up because of the podcast being on?
Oh yeah,
Can
it
you
would
just
be
imagine
terrible.
the shitstorm that would be? But also, how much of the young vote we would get.
Dude, that guy said the F word with 2 G's in it.
I
once
was,
on the
I was
internet.
I was just about to say the actual F word, like, well, here, Mr. Geezy, is it true that on you said faggot 19 times in a row?
I regret what I said back there.
So you're not even gonna try to defend?
That was locker room talk.
Can you just imagine that though? Because we still be doing the podcast while like campaigning and stuff. Just like
Like, I don't want to attack my people like in all the camp debates, and everything on the podcast. Be like that fucking idiot.
And Mitch, you attacked black people multiple times
During
verbally
a
in your
Red Dead
podcast.
Redemption.
Can you comment on that? I'm like,
That wasn't me. That was a deep fake of me. It was an AI manipulated video.
we have
I had
support
sunglasses.
from
I could've been
Adam.
anybody.
We had some support from Adam Webb saying I'd shit myself for you, and then Alex saying just make your dreams come true and do it.
Because I want to get paid
Oh
off
my
to be.
God, dude.
I want to get paid off by lobbyists to vote how they want,
Bernie's a podcast on Twitch.
and then not vote that
Yeah.
way.
Dude,
Bernie's on
Alex,
Twitch,
if
bro.
you're listening, I don't know if you like Joe Rogan, but Bernie was on Joe Rogan today. I listened to about 20 minutes of it, and I really liked it. I'm not even like a big Bernie Sanders fan, so I still liked it. But
I am a big Bernie Sanders fan, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to vote for him. I'm really liking Mayor Pete.
I don't know if I want to go political right now. I want to keep it on the discussion thing.
It's kind of been political.
Well, no, it has been, but
Well,
we've gone
it's
both
been one
sides.
si- it's been one
We've gone both sides though.
Andrew Yang.
I want to say thanks again for you guys, and then we could do. Nate was really in favor of the discussion thing.
Nate, would you
So-
vote for me if I ran for House of Representatives?
Or me. If I ran for Senate.
Or me?
You're not old enough to run for Senate.
When I'm 30, 2 years.
Damn, we're fucking old.
I don't know what Alex is really.
to
in here.
Ray-
Probably
to-
me not
To him being
liking
on
Bernie.
to him being on Joe Rogan, I think.
Oh yeah, he is on Joe Rogan. Yeah, today. So I think we're gonna go with the addiction podcast tomorrow, or no, Thursday. We're gonna talk about just drugs / addiction, like anything addicted to that alters your brain or whatever.
Depends on the payout.
And we will gladly take guests. Anybody who wants to be on, just message one of us or post on the page or comment right now, and we will try to schedule something. We'd love to have a live guest. If not, we'll do something like this again.
Oh, speaking of addiction, I think I'm 1 month, 1 week tobacco free.
Boom.
Fuck the haters. Fuck you, American Tobacco Association.
Hey, I was one of your biggest doubters. I said you're a
Alex
fucking pussy. You
Alex
can't-
was asking if you really liked Mayo Pete.
Oh.
Go Mayo Pete.
Who is this guy?
let's-
Who is
Mayor
this?
Pete.
Who is it?
He's the mayor of...
I don't know who this is.
Who is it?
Who is it?
Who is it? He's like a 35-year-old gay millennial
Oh, Jesus.
that's running for president. He's been in all the debates.
'Kay.
But he's got like a really good... I'm pretty sure I agree with everything of his. I'm pretty sure he's pretty much in line with my views. I got to double check a couple issues on him. But like just his demeanor is so much better than like anybody else's. It's like the way
He's just chill.
he's chill, but he also like is very articulate with his points. And he gets his point across very well. And it's
See,
just-
I think the problem would be if he was the nominee. America's not ready for a gay president.
bullshit. We already had one. We already had one. Fucking Buchanan was gay.
Oh, shit.
James
It's not
Buchanan.
confirmed. He wasn't openly gay, but he did not ever marry, and he had a man that lived with him in the White House. So, a lot of historians.
I would have
believe
you
that.
guys live with me in the White House, though.
A lot of-
right.
Yeah, but back then,
We'd be podcasting out of the Oval Office.
fuck yeah.
Nah, dude, front lawn.
Oh, my
The place is awesome. I've been there. I have to just throw that in
That'd be
there.
so neat.
Dudes, it's been really fun today. I just wanted to say that again. And we should probably kill it. I mean, not kill it, but like, well, because we have
Alex.
officially run out of steam.
Alex, what do you think of Andrew Yang? He's my guy. So
God.
far.
This guy wants to give $1,600 to everybody, right?
I think 1,000 or
1,000?
He wants the universal income,
I'm down with that.
Um,
guy.
which
No
is super
co-
smart to and,
no.
like,
It really-
help
it
the
really
help the economy. Because his whole thing would be humanity first. So like he's like all about pushing for AI, like switching to manufacturing all that stuff to like robotics and stuff.
Just give everybody money, like, because I do agree.
He basically wants humanity to become like Star Trek, where everyone like they figure out how to do everything, and then everyone can just live the life they want to
just
live.
minors.
I was gonna say, I'm not defending the robotics taking over manufacturing, but
Well,
there
robotics
was-
for everything basically. Like
Yeah,
but
anything that would be shitty
It
job.
is obtainable.
at my job there was a step in a
Yang
process
is a meme
that
candidate. That's fair.
one of the processes was put these two plates in these sleeves and then push a button to punch them. That got replaced by a robot,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a free training program how to run the robot, and we also got, I think, because it was a
people
robotic,
don't like
we
people.
got
You have to maintain the
yeah,
robots. Like
we got like a 5-cent
robots can do
raise,
that.
but still, what?
Until robots can maintain the robots. But that's the thing.
That's just Skynet.
Here's the thing that somebody asked me, because I started a big shit show on a Facebook page the other day, because I was basically a bunch of factory workers were fucking ragging
Whoa.
on McDonald's people, and so I made a post on there. I was like, you factory workers are basically just McDonald's employees, but you use plastic instead of meat, and they didn't
so
like,
true.
they didn't like that.
Like honestly, I feel like okay,
Oh my
me and Mitch both work in manufacturing.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree. I would rather work where I work than McDonald's because I think the McDonald's job it's way more stressful.
It is.
You get
I still.
fucking-
My job
Burn.
might be slightly more physically demanding because
You're not dealing with people.
I still
right,
say
like it's
to.
just different. Like it's my job is much easier than have to make like
Yeah.
imagine having to make like 30 things on a menu. Like it's so annoying to
And
have to remember all that
remember,
shit.
yeah.
I remember one process and I'm good.
I still
and-
say to this day that McDonald's was the hardest job I've ever worked, and I've worked some stupid shit. So I worked outside and I got attacked by bees.
I told everybody, everyone's like, well, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, it's not insulting to say your job is basically the same as McDonald's because they both take their own set of skills, but I'm saying you're not
Right.
better than the person who
Oh,
works at McDonald's.
no.
Yeah. I
Because
don't-
that's how they're acting. I'm like, you fucking bunch
My
of
paycheck
elitists.
just says I.
Yeah, that's the thing. But anyway, what I was gonna say is,
Sorry,
somebody
that was-
asked me, they're like, well,
Oh,
what
man.
about automation? Blah blah blah. How are you gonna prevent that? I'm like, it's been proposed before. Is you have an income tax. Every worker that's job is given to a machine, they have to pay a full that full.
The company has to
income.
pay.
Yeah, the company pays that full income of that employee as a tax. Because that's one job that they just took away from somebody. So basically, that employee was going to make
Then
$35,000.
but what would the incentive be for that company to go automation then? Not having to pay like insurance and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, they'd still not have, but that
You're still
employee-
reducing costs.
Yeah, but that employee was going to have to pay you're going to pay them $35,000. Well, now you're going to pay that $35,000 into the government, and bada bing, bada boom, like Yang wants to do, you just fucking start giving everybody money, and eventually robots will do everything, and we'll be able to sit on our asses like in WALL-E and get fat, and that's fine with me.
That's ideal.
That's the fucking dream. Like I was thinking about it, I'm like,
Well,
there's-
no, it allows you to go do what you want. You
Yeah.
know, like
There's-
man, the culture that you would experience, like the arts culture that would happen. My fucking
work is
God.
so that's the thing. I mean, it's not going to be soon, and we're going to have to go through big culture
Obviously, it's a
shift.
pipe dream right now, but like
Right
it's a
now.
nice thing to think about for the future.
If when the conservatives eventually die off,
Which-
we'll be able to start the process of eventually nobody will have to work if things go smoothly. If we don't fucking kill ourselves.
dude, that's gonna be like over. I think that's gonna be like over the course of 100 years.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Well, yeah, it'll be like 100, 200. Yeah, we won't be alive.
it sucks.
But I'm just saying, unless
Wait.
they invent some like
I
frozen.
say we might
kryptonite.
be able to get into that robot body.
Maybe, hopefully.
I would love to be in a tiger suit
Jesus.
from like Advanced Warfare.
Oh,
If
one
you
of
could,
those
here's
things.
the
Yeah.
question: you could get in a robot suit.
Yes.
Any human organ that you keep takes 100 years. You get a 500-year life.
Mm-hmm.
Any organ from your body that you want to keep takes 100 years off.
Oh.
What do you pick?
Um,
You don't have to pick
keep?
anything. Yeah, to keep
probably my.
Penis.
I was gonna say my tongue.
tongue.
Oh,
Yep.
shit! I didn't even. I immediately went to
It
dick.
depends. I would have to see like.
Your brain is a freebie. Brain's freebie.
Well,
obviously.
right, but like, can the robotic taste stuff?
Not on its
Oh,
own.
man.
You need your tongue.
You
Yeah,
actually-
see that's tough.
You've thought of this.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't.
I just ran through it quick. I'm like, what would I rather do? Eat? Because that's what I would do the most. Like, you still, I guess if you're in a robot body, you don't have to eat.
Yeah, but imagine like food isn't just for survival anymore. Like we want it because it gives us joy.
Right. But if I live forever, would I really need food to have
You could
enjoyment
forget
of
the
life?
joy of food,
Or would
yeah.
I would have other
Like
joys.
you forgot the joy of tobacco.
No, I haven't. I really fucking want it. You have no idea. It's driving me nuts.
Oh Jesus God.
Oop, I like this.
Oh boy. Yeah, I wanted to end this because we can save this for another
Automation is
time.
not a bad. Yeah, we should do it. Oh, this could have been on the jobs
person
part.
can be done by machine building machines.
God, I don't
Yeah,
even remember.
exactly. That's
40 hours a week. I
very-
wish I only worked 40 hours a
very
week.
poignant.
And why don't we have him come in to talk about this at some point? Would he ever be on this or no?
Yeah, he wanted to be on the jobs one, but we had
Oh yeah.
one person and the other person drops out at the last second.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, that's right. That person that's not allowed to be on anymore.
Kelly.
Yes.
She was watching before Callie.
She was. Oh, dude, she rewatched the one where I called her out, like in the first 2 minutes, and I said, "Yeah, that person that canceled like 6 times and isn't allowed. We're not going to say her name, Kelly Zemple." And then all of a sudden, I said it full volume, and she's like, "Wow, thanks a lot." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't. That's fine. I mean, you dug the hole." But, anyways,
I s-
Alex, this is my formal invitation. I would like you to come on Yeah, he said he'd like to come on. We'll do an automation episode. We could probably do that next Tuesday because we're doing addiction next week. I do want to do addiction.
What if you're
You
addicted
mean-
to
you mean
automation?
Thursday?
This week, Thursday. What? We'll do addiction automation on next Thursday. So I do need to cut this. So thank you, everybody.
That's what the circumcision doctor.
And I'm not.
Fuck.
Wait, no. We'll have to talk about.
Wait,
if I
you're
ever-
not circumcised?
I will look at it and we'll look at it off air. So
I can't tell when it's in my mouth, so.
You probably could. I love you. I love you guys, and I love everybody that commented. Both sides. It was a lot of fun. Thank you very much. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye.
You're wrong.
That's your thing every time.
Are you really not circumcised?
That ended on that. Are you really not circumcised?